I don't even know where to start. There's still a lot of excitement going on inside my head and inside my body as a whole. I attended the Marvel announcement thing that went on. They advertised it on their Facebook. Well, I knew about it through Facebook, but I'm sure that they announced it in all the media sites. Marvel said, hey, on a random Tuesday, there's a special event, free tickets or free admission or whatever if you can make it, RSVP, and come on down to the El Capitan Theater up in Hollywood. And so what it ended up being is an announcement for Phase 3 of the Marvel Cinematic Universe. And so that was kind of my friend and I were speculating, what could it be? We were thinking, well, they just announced Benedict Cumberbatch's Doctor Strange, at least, him being in, serious talks, so maybe it was going to be like a final announcement that he is for sure going to be Doctor Strange. Or, maybe Avengers related and they're going to show like extended clips, kind of like what they did with Guardians of the Galaxy before. They had something similar with Guardians where they showed minutes here, a couple minutes there of certain scenes of the movie, and so there was speculation on if it could be that. And then I told my friend, I was like, you know what? Maybe, just maybe, it could be something having to do with Phase 3. And it was kind of just one of the suggestions that I had made. And lo and behold, that's exactly what it was. It ended up being almost entirely, there was some Avenger stuff. I'll get to that. I'll get to kind of everything that happened. Kevin Feige was there. He comes out and he introduces, what's going on, what their intentions are going to be. And so they have, the slate. So basically they were like, here we go. I just got in a message here. Here we go. This is what it's going to be. It's Phase 3. This, get ready, basically. And so they started off with something, as he said, something that we have already seen now. He explained how Hydra, oh, that's what that was. Hydra had released the footage for the Avengers, and so he's like, okay, well, you've already seen this, but we're going to show it to you again. And, nobody complained. We got to see it on a big screen. And so we saw that trailer that we've all already seen, the No Strings on Me trailer. And then, after that, he's like, okay, well, now that that's done and out of the way, oh my god. And so they have the slate. And so they've made the announcements for the upcoming movies for Phase 3. What they did was announce these movies. So it was literally just, Kevin Feige was like, and now this. And, the room would go dark, and then in the screen it would just pop up the title card. And so we have Captain America, Serpent Society. That's due to come out May 6, 2016. Doctor Strange in November 4th, 2016. He had, by means of a short video clip, he had James Gunn announce Guardians of the Galaxy 2. Now, that had already been slated to release July of 2017, but the announcement for that was that they were going to go ahead and push it ahead, and they were now going to release it in May. So May 5th, 2017 for Guardians of the Galaxy 2. And then we have Thor Ragnarok for July 28th, 2017. Then it's Black Panther for November 3rd, 2017. Captain Marvel, which was I was very excited about that. I'll get to that in a second. So Captain Marvel for July 6th, 2018. And then The Inhumans, November. I understand, but I'm filming. Inhumans, November 2nd, 2018. And then Avengers Infinity War. Part 1, May 4th, 2018. Part 2, May 3rd, 2019. Let's start with Doctor Strange. So, this Phase 3 is really going to be, as you can kind of tell, is going to be centered around the cosmos. It's a very cosmic, magical, and outer spacey and otherworldly. So, this is their moment to kind of bring in. With Guardians of the Galaxy, they kind of dabbled, they kind of dipped their toes in the water to say, let's see how people react. And the movie ended up being fantastic, and so that it showed that we as a society were ready for that kind of thing. And so I guess that they were more confident about releasing this. And now, to be perfectly honest, there's been kind of a pissing contest between Marvel and DC as far as what they release and the scoops that they provide to the ether, to the internet, to the fan base, and we're caught in the middle. But this is literally what we're doing. We're caught in the middle of a pissing contest, and here's us. We're bathing in it, just all benefiting from what Marvel and DC are kind of butting heads with, releasing dates and releasing movie titles and releasing expectations and what their intentions are. So aside from it being like trying to one up each other, I think now with the success of Guardians of the Galaxy, I think it's a really good time to step further into that cosmic world and now fully introduce what Phase 3 is all about. Thor with Ragnarok. Now, if people don't know what Ragnarok is, in Norse mythology terms, it kind of means the end of times. It's this massive happening in which it ends up that most of the major deities, Norse deities, die. Yes, those. So it's huge. But in the Marvel universe, he's like a cyborg clone of Thor. And my guess is that that's where they're going with it. With Doctor Strange, with Guardians of the Galaxy, and Thor, that's really cosmic and really magical. And then we go into Black Panther, which Kevin Feige mentioned. He said that there was, in the clips that were shown, and which is, I'm not going to consider this a spoiler, so if you are spoiler conscious, I'll go ahead and put something on the bottom to let you know when you can turn your volume back up. So go ahead and turn your volume down, because I'm going to kind of relay some information, because it's something that Kevin Feige had mentioned, and my friend and I put it together in our head. He went into my head, and we both put it together in my head. That when Kevin Feige mentioned that something that was already shown in the trailer for Avengers Age of Ultron had to do with leading up to Black Panther. Now, we've already seen the trailer. I've seen it 500,000 times. I'm sure you guys have seen it just as much. And so that one of the shots has Captain America's shield broken. And we all know what metal that's made of, and we all know where that metal comes from. So now they're going to have to go to Wakanda in order to obtain more vibranium to, I guess, either make a new one or repair the old one. So that was a definite thing that Kevin Feige was like, there's something there that's gonna be, that totally hints at the reasons behind our where Black Panther's kind of there's a Black Panther-ish kind of Easter egg thing going on in there, and so that's obviously what that is. So that's pretty cool. And then with Captain Marvel, my friend was saying, with the DC announcement of Wonder Woman, now they have a woman-centric movie that's going to come out, and DC kind of felt like they were on top with that. And so my friend was saying, like, well, what female-centric movie would you want from the Marvel universe? And I mean, instantly it was like, well, it's got to be Captain Marvel. And so when they made the announcement, I was literally like, yes. And so it is confirmed that it's Carol Danvers that's going to be Miss Marvel. She's not Miss Marvel anymore. She's known as Captain Marvel, and so that's going to be interesting to see, again, dealing with like superpowers. She's a human, but her origin, her superpowers are very much otherworldly. So again, keeping with the whole theme of being cosmic and mystical and magical. The Inhumans, to me, that's not necessarily scraping the bottom of the barrel, because that's kind of bad to say. And up to a certain point in time, we thought Iron Man was scraping the bottom of the barrel, and look at him now. So now you're getting into territory, even with like Black Panther and even with Doctor Strange, you're getting into territory where people outside of the comic book community are going, what? so uh, So we'll see. We'll put a pin on that one and see where that goes. And then with Avengers, it was just a great teaser shot of the gauntlet, and then it kind of closes and it's Thanos and he's got the gauntlet. He's wearing it in his hands and bleh, sploosh all over the screen. Avengers Infinity Wars. So then at the end, like I said, we had announced Captain America: Serpent Society, and Kevin Feige was like, "Oh, you know what? No, that doesn't look right. That subtitle doesn't look right." And so everyone was like, "Oh, what? What's going on?" They had a clip that they were going to show us from Avengers, so we got a little bit of it was just a scene between Tony Stark and Captain America, and I don't want to kind of give they're literally just chopping wood, chopping wood, and they're kind of talking about what had happened. From how Feige set it up, I guess they had just gotten like their asses handed to them by Ultron, and so they kind of go into hiding, and it looked like they were in kind of like a farm or a barn, and like I said, so Captain and Stark are chopping wood and kind of like talking about what they could have done, what they should have done, and they kind of start butting heads. And then there's really awesome scene, or this really awesome part of the scene where they're kind of getting testy with each other, and at a certain point, Captain America grabs a log and just splits it with his hands like it's like a fucking piece of styrofoam, kind of showing off, like saying like, "You want to go? Let's fucking go." That kind of ends the scene, and then you know, Captain America Civil War. And so, I mean, it's set in stone now. Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chadwick Boseman were there. So after they announced, the title card for Captain America 3, the Tony and Cap come out. How it's bad that they're fighting, but sometimes sometimes it happens, and then you know they're having they announced Chadwick Boseman as Black Panther, and so they kind of put him on the spot and have him choose sides, and they like rock paper scissors for who Cap and Stark rock paper scissors to see who gets him on their side. So that was just kind of a fun little thing that they had, and they had the actors there, and then the Russo brothers, the directors of Captain America, they were also there. Joss Whedon was there as well. Now I didn't get to see them because obviously there was a mob of people, and we were up on the balcony, and they were like front row, like on. So I was like trying to get a seat, but I couldn't see them. A bunch of excitement, a lot of things that were announced. I mean, and they just like fired them off one after the other, one after the other. Like the whole event took less than an hour. Like I swear to God. So it was very much just kind of like, again, with the whole DC Marvel thing going on, it was just like, you know what, let's do this. Let's make a big deal out of it. People will come up. People will show, and we're just gonna just throw it out there. And basically what we're doing now, it's super smart, because now what we're doing, like I said, on all the social media outlets, we're spreading the word for them. All they had to do was just plant the little seed and then just watch it like explode. I'll keep you guys as updated as possible on all things superhero on both Marvel and DC sides. So up until then, thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon.